we're doing right at the moment.
Let's see. Come out. Welcome back to Good Day Big Bear.
I don't think anybody does.
Hostess with the mostest, Gloria Rose. This is our co-host with the most, Dan. And this is Susan Johnston, my good friend, my pet. So she's just going to kind of sit with us while Dan does his real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing now?
Do you want to do real estate? You guys do hand, paper, rock, scissors, and decide who's going to do what.
I'm not good at that.
Oh, God.
See,
that?
I don't do that.
That's like so close to counter, so they go doo-doo.
Yeah, while we're anticipating what we're going to do, how about if we do a little real estate?
Oh, if we must.
First of all, what I'd like to do is kind of bring their attention to a little bit of a scam that's going on out there in the real estate world, which is kind of affecting getting people bought on their short sale loans. There's a new scam out, as everything happens in this world in this wonderful time. Every time something comes out that's going to help people, there's always got to be somebody that comes along and creates
like ambulance chasers
or
right
generates a
behind
scam that is going to generate a problem for everybody. So the new problem is in our latest real estate magazine for the agents out there to be aware of. The approval letters that are coming out now are for Bank of America especially, seems to be the ones that are being hit. They prosecuted 3 lenders who put together approval letters that were given out. They're fake. They're actually just distributing these. They look exactly like a Bank of America approval letter. So if you are getting and receiving letters as agents from clients and you're being handed this letter to turn in to escrow to show that they have been approved for a loan, a short sale loan, you might want to call. Bank of America has a hotline right now. That number is 866-880-1232. And they will tell you if they actually have an approved short sale or not. And this is across the country. They just prosecuted 3 gentlemen in, I don't know if you call them gentlemen.
I was going to say, that's
here in California. So the scams in California seem to be escalating pretty hard on the short sale, and it's just creating more problems for everybody. So I just thought I'd put that notice out there and let
and I have a question.
Agents be aware.
Okay, so let's say I get one of those letters. And like you're saying, you go directly to your agent, say, is this a legit letter from Bank of America? What are they requesting? How would they scam me? I have a letter that looks just like Bank of America, so that means everything on it would be in reference to Bank of America. So how are they going to scam me with this?
Actually, what they're saying is that it's an approved. This is what's happening is you're getting a letter saying you are approved to do a short sale, and you're not.
And okay, but why would they? What are they getting out of telling me that?
You're set up for a foreclosure.
Oh.
Your house will go to foreclosure. You don't have the opportunity to do the short sale.
So you're just going to get this letter and then sit back and think, I'm good.
Exactly. And you will not get the short sale. You're not even approved to do a short sale.
That's not nice.
And so the people will be, they'll go into jeopardy. They'll lose their home. And it's just another opportunity for somebody to come along and say, I'll buy your home now at this price, and it's just a way to scam the house again. So
that's the
carpetbagger thing.
Yeah, that's the tidbit of information I was waiting for. What are they getting out of it by giving you this?
They actually get an opportunity to buy your home, steal your home, take your home from you,
steal your life and your memories,
and put it into foreclosure. So you're being told you're doing something you're not.
Okay.
You have the opportunity to do something you can't, and it's there's so much of that out there. It's ridiculous. But as these things come up, I like to just make people.
No, that's great.
It's kind of like the interpretation of what is an appraiser and what is a BPO. Okay, an appraiser is somebody that represents the bank that's giving you an appraisal of the value of your home that's going to be part of you getting a loan for your house. A BPO is a broker's price opinion, which is usually utilized for a bank that might be just looking for a number of value. Let's just say, for instance, you're applying for a short sale. So in the process of applying for a short sale, the bank's going to call a local agent to get an idea of what the price of your house is worth. And they're going to use that as a guideline, but it's not an appraisal. But a lot of times people, It is a comp, and it's what
Yeah.
the bank that might be in Chicago is going to use as a comp for
just
your
wanna
area
know
because they're not
right,
there.
right,
But
right,
it is
right.
not an appraisal. But
Right.
a lot of people think it is.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
so
totally different.
So
yeah.
they get confused on that. They think, well, a guy came out, looked at my house, took pictures, did this, did that, and it's just a BPO. But it costs they pay $50 for that. If you do an appraisal, you're paying $400
Right,
for that, and
right.
that's etched in stone. That goes to the bank as a means of you getting a loan. So there's always that kind of confusion. So for our stats. In
Drum
in the
roll.
valley today. Just to let you know that we have peaked the 700 mark. So for residentials, we've sold over 700 for our year to date. The average selling price is 250,000. It's a little down from last week, but we are
Still
still
solid
over the
there, still good,
250,000.
still
So
good.
that's up for the year. We're at out of the 700, 245 are cash buyers. So we're still probably right around 40% still cash buyers. That seems to be dropping a little bit. The average cash buyer is 212.
Really?
Yeah, so big drop there. Short.
That's a lot of money to come up with. I think I've got an extra.
Actually, you know what? I take
212.
that back. I jumped the line. So it's 243 for the cash buyer. Sorry, it's 212 for the short sales.
Okay.
And then it drops down to 138, which we've done 157 of those for the year, and it's 138 for the
Cash?
foreclosures.
Oh, for the foreclosures.
So, and we've done 157 foreclosures for the year. Our listings now are 542 in the residential, 370 for the valley. So we've sold 3 properties since last week, which is really good. When
Is
we're
this
selling land,
business? The 300?
no, this is
something?
lots and land.
What about businesses? Do you have
Businesses,
statistics
yeah,
for businesses?
We do have.
That's
statistics.
very concerning to
Businesses,
me.
we've actually sold 8 businesses.
Really?
And now we have 8 listed. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The problem in the business area is there's not any real lending for businesses. So those are usually a hard money loan. Very difficult to get financing for commercial businesses right now. So usually you're finding hard money loans or people who will carry their own paper, and anything in this valley that is business oriented is very difficult to get started. Because you don't get that financial support.
Right,
so
right.
It is a hard startup. And when you see the range, but opportunities in the valley are for everybody, because our 8 listings are from 10,000 to 795,000. So that tells you that we have quite a range of opportunity
Low
here in
and
the valley
high and
for
in the
people.
middle,
So
right.
Our listed bank loans right now are 21, ranging from 69,000 to 389,000. Short sales 41. So we're sitting good in that department, because the less bank owns, the less short sales we have, tells us that we're working strong on the recovery. And the banks are starting to loosen up a little bit, and we are able to get a few more. The greatest thing that's happening right now is we are getting modular homes financed.
Really?
Yes, so mobile homes, modular homes, whatever you want to call them at this point, manufactured homes, there is financing available for them now. So that has been a big breakthrough for us.
And how do they appraise? If you've had one, my friends went down the street in front of my house and call her. It's like, damn, your house is going by my house. It was crazy. I'd never seen that before.
The problem with modular homes is they're a registered vehicle.
Right.
Okay, so they depreciate quicker than a normal home, and that's just been the case all along, and there's an abundance of them out there. And the biggest problem for them was the fact that they couldn't get financing. Now that they're getting financing, and it's kind of like when you get to the bottom of, and this is not a real delicate way to put it, but when you're at the bottom of the inventory and that's all that's out there, then that becomes the stronger value in the market. Now they're competing with each other, and they're not really competing with stick-built homes. So, but they are extremely well built.
Oh, they're beautiful. You go inside, you can't even tell it's a modular
unfortunate.
home.
They take a bad rap.
Yeah, they do.
I went to a factory.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one it was, but
Highland Valley Hill.
no, it was off of Lincoln in Corona, and they build the houses inside the factory. It's surprising, because I didn't expect to see what I saw when I went there.
Oh, they're amazing. They're all 2x6 structure. They're so well insulated that they meet the highest standards
And they're
that
built
are
in
out
code.
there. Absolutely, above code. That's the main difference between, and what you see is a lot of times when people are building, they build to code, they build down. They build to the closest number in thickness of wood and everything else that they can get away with. But when in the modulars, in the manufactured homes, they build up. And the reason is so that they meet all the standards everywhere. And back when the bubble was here, that was the big deal. Everybody thinks that they were cheap cutting by bringing in modulars, and that isn't really what was going on. What happened is it was taking anywhere from 6 months to a year to get your plans approved just to go through plan check. There were so many people shoving homes through.
And the water meters too.
And everything, exactly. So when you had all that information already, they were based on models. So each model, the building inspector, all he had to do is say, what model is this? And they just tell you what model it was. He had the specs all in front of him, so he could just automatically approve that to go in. So you could get a modular put in between 30 and 60 days where you're waiting for 6 months to get your plans approved for your house. So that really is what the main drive was, to get those things put in. And they were beautiful inside. They were beautifully built. They were well built. They're very well insulated. They come with just about all the amenities you can, sprinkler systems, the whole bit.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't, it's just unfortunate they're registered like a car or anything else. And that's kind of what beat it down. They're still called a mobile home, and so that kind of hurt the market for them. And just to give you an idea how it hurts them, when you see what we get out of these for listings, you get into the sale of these things. They're very low. Two sold, 10 sold, all based on government leases. Government leases and modulars and all those are pretty much staying in the same range as far as their sales go and where their value is in the market. But if you'd like to get this information and get more stats, you can go on findahomeInBigBear.com. You can go on our website, which is exitrealtybigbear.com, or you can email me personally, which is daniel@exitrealtybigbear.com, or you can call me at 909-878-0522.
High five!
Right arm, baby.
I didn't even have to ask you. You didn't have. I'm getting all teary-eyed. That is fabulous. Usually it's Dan. What's your email address? Dan. Oh my goodness. Oh, put it some more.
You practiced that in the mirror. That was good.
And I got to tell you, like we were talking real quick about inventory. It's my mom's house is sold. There's no sold sign on it. It's just the sign. But the house next door is for sale. So in between sweating buckets, we would look out the window and there's cars galore. Finally, we had to go over there. It's like maybe they're having a buffet or something. There's so much demand for housing in that area. She must have had, in one day, I saw at least 20 cars go to an open house, and that was on a Thursday in the middle of the week.
The problem is up down the hill, there is a huge demand for everything down the hill.
Yeah.
And their inventory is very low because they have financing. Because our financing is so difficult for second homes up here, and that's why you have a 40% cash buying margin. So we have a little more of a struggle. I get a kick out of people that come up here and they say, well, we can sell our house in no time. We spend a lot of time talking to people, trying to get listings, and of course everybody's house is worth more than anybody else's out there. We understand that. We respect
You're
that.
Special.
But the bottom line is they don't realize that it is tougher to sell up here because of the finance situation. So the demand is, we have a lot of investors that come up here because this is kind of like the last hurrah, where you can come and actually buy a house for under $100,000 or $200,000, and that's why you look at our range, look at our listing range for residential is $39,000 to $2.9 million.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And but yet our average selling house is $250,000. So that tells you that you're still focused with the investors on the low end. People are still kind of iffy about what they're going to do. So yes, we're selling more. It's kind of like if you look at any part of the market right now, they're telling you straight out that yes, we're selling more homes, that things are moving, things are picking up, but the cost per square foot is lower. The average selling house is lower. So yes, things are moving, but it's usually your foreclosure and your short sale that's really moving quicker. Resale is still getting a little beat up
Yeah.
because of the distress.
Well, and I just
market.
brought that up because I haven't seen activity like that on an open house in
It's
the middle of the week ever. We even went over there. We took a shower, did our hair, and we went over there. And it's like it's just a little tiny house, but
Right.
there's such a demand.
One of the
So-
reasons I take listings down the hill is for that reason, is
Yeah.
because the minute you put it on the market, it's
Boom,
gone.
it's gone
Yeah,
at
so-
a good price.
Yeah, so
well,
you are
Dan,
right.
you have just been a plethora of information today.
And a pleasure of information.
A
Yes.
pleasure.
I thought that's what you were going to say at first, and I thought it worked.
Papa.
So we are going to go back to our sponsors for a few minutes, and when we come back, Susan Johnston is here to talk about geocaching. She brought some photos, so she can kind of explain to those of you that haven't really heard of it what it is. So go get another cup of coffee and come back. So we'll see you in just a minute.